Good night, my beloved scholars. Welcome back to another live CSEC math class. Tonight we are diving into our favorite CSEC math topic, and that, of course, is algebra. All right, so we're going to be doing the substitution. Not substitution method as in simultaneous equation, but just pure substitution. So we're going to talk about what we mean by that. And we're going to do some examples as well. Oh, so I need to change my till. I'm still on my PEP. We're coming straight out of the PEP ability test. And I need to change my title to CSEC Live Algebra Substitution. Okay. All right. So we are fresh out of PEP and we need to change over to our CSEC Live Algebra. Okay. All right. So let me share the link so others can join us. So let me share the link so others can join us. All right, so, okay. All right, so we're going to just have some a little chat about substitution while we wait for others to join. What is substitution? What does the word substitution mean? Anyone from my studio crew can help me out with that?
A substitution means putting one thing in the place of another.
Like having a substitute teacher for the day.
Okay. Thank you, Imani and John. Is Amari around?
Yes, miss, he's right here.
All right. So in studio, I have Imani, Amari, and John, and they'll be helping me out tonight. In case I forget something, they will gladly remind me. So substitution means to put one thing in the place of another thing. And John said it's similar to when you have a substitute teacher at school. He or she fills the place of the other teacher who, for whatever reason, can't be there. And that is why we use the term substitution to describe this procedure, because what we're doing is we're given a value for the variable, and we're going to, wherever we see that variable, we're going to substitute the value that we're given. If you were here last week when we went through our basic algebraic terms, you would know what a variable is. Can you remind me, Amari, what a variable is?
Miss, a variable is a letter that is. Miss, a variable is a type of letter.
Is a
Miss, it's a letter that. Miss,
I'm not clear on what you're saying.
Miss, a number would miss a symbol for a number. A symbol for
Okay,
for
right. So a variable is a symbol that we use to represent the unknown number, or in this case of substitution, we are told what we should let the variable represent at this time. It remains a variable because that value can change. To vary means to change. So we might say, okay, in this case, let us make x be 4. We can change our minds 2 minutes later and say, you know what? This time I want x to be -6. I want x to be 0. So it varies, it changes. It's not fixed. So the symbol, we just, when we're dealing with unknowns, and much of algebra has to do with finding the value of an unknown quantity, for the time being, we're using this letter, this symbol, to represent the unknown quantity. So I'm going to go to the board now and I'm going to show you what I mean. They say show is better than tell. And it's even better when you do both. So I'm telling you and I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to take my laptop and put it a little closer, and hopefully this will help you to see the board better. So give me some feedback. Does this help?
Yes, miss. I'm
yes,
seeing
miss.
numbers 1 through 5 for the second and third column.
Okay. All right, that helps, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, all right. So for the first batch, so we have 3 batches that we're going to work through tonight. For the first batch, we're saying let x be 4 and let y be 2. Sorry, -2. So this is a scenario we're creating. We're saying for this purpose, at this time, we're going to let x be 4 and y be -2. So wherever we see x, we're going to put a bracket and put 4. If we're multiplying it by a variable, by another variable or another number. If it's just by itself, we don't need the bracket. Unless it's a negative number, in some cases, we have to put a bracket when we're dealing with negative numbers, because the answer can change. For example, if you're raising it to a power. So to be on the safe side, we use the bracket. So number 1 says 6xy. Now, when you have numbers beside a variable or another variable beside another variable without being separated by a plus or minus sign, we are to multiply. So xy means x times y. 6xy means 6 times x times y. Okay? So this would be 6 times 4 times -2. That's how we would write it using our brackets. 6 times 4 gives 24, times -2 gives
It's -48.
48. Thank you, studio crew. -48. This is the value of the expression given these variables. Okay, so welcome. My chat persons are coming on. Welcome, Zion. I'm seeing Carissa. Who else am I seeing? I don't know who that person is.
Miss, Miss, Teresa McLeod is John, but he's on Mommy's Gmail. He's using it to type in the
Okay.
chat.
All right, and we have Alexander joining us as a member of the crew. Welcome, Alexander. All right, so number 2, negative 2x plus 3y. So that's negative 2 times, remember x is 4, negative 2 times 4 plus 3 times negative 2. Remember, wherever x is, we're going to put 4. Wherever y is, we're going to put negative 2. And because they're beside a number, we put a bracket because it means we're going to multiply them. All right, I'm also seeing Jamani. Welcome, guys. Remember to say good evening to everyone. All right, so negative 2 times negative 4, that's negative 8. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Okay, so what's my answer? I have negative 8 minus
Miss, negative 14.
negative 14. Okay, so that's the answer for number 2. For number 3, I have negative 3y squared. So it's negative 3 times negative 2 squared. Remember our order of operation when we have a square, we work
Miss,
that
we work
first.
square first. So whatever
Okay.
is in the bracket,
So what
square.
negative 2 squared would give what?
Positive 4, Miss.
A positive 4. Because negative 2 squared means we're multiplying negative 2 times negative 2, and that gives a positive 4. Now we're going, so we have negative 3 times positive 4, and that gives
Miss,
one.
What?
negative 3 times
No, Miss, that is
Oh, Miss,
negative
sorry.
12. They are
negative
so wrong. It's
12.
negative 12.
We're not adding in our multiplying. Remember, bracket means multiply. All right, number 4, we have 4 times x times y. So that's 4 times 4 times negative 2. 4 fours, 16
16.
times negative 2.
Excuse me, miss? You hear
Yes,
me?
Alexander.
Yeah, I'm not quite seeing your board clearly.
You're not seeing the board? Oh dear, I
Clearly.
can't. Let me see if I can get it a little bit closer. Is that better? I can't
Yes,
get it
miss.
any closer. All
Yes,
right.
miss. That's better. Much better.
Okay, so 4 4 is 16, and 16 times negative 2 give what?
Miss, could you
16
repeat,
times
please?
negative 2.
Oh, negative 32. Negative 32.
Okay, so that's negative 32. Persons in the chat, remember to type your answers for me. Number 5 says 3 bracket x minus y bracket plus 6. So we have 3 bracket x is 4 minus y is negative 2 plus 6. So in the bracket, the 4 minus negative 2 would be the same as 4 plus 2, which is 6. So it's 3 times, sorry, 4 minus negative 2 is 6.
Yes, Miss, that's 6.
So 3 times 6,
6, which is
plus
18
6,
plus 6, which is
that's what, 22? Am I right?
24.
24? Right,
4.
okay, positive 24. And below that, we have number 6, 9x plus 3y. So that would be 9 times x is 4, with substituting that value for x. 9 times 4 plus 3 times negative 2. So 9 fours,
Miss, 36.
6.
And 3 times negative 2.
Miss is negative 6.
So 36 minus 6,
30.
positive 30. All right, so that's the answer for that. Are there any questions for this first batch? Anything you're
She
not
said
getting on?
9 times 4, right?
9 4 is 36. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 36 minus 6 gives 30.
Oh, yeah, miss. I thought you said plus. Sorry.
It's
Yes,
plus minus is the same as minus.
no, for 9, 4. I thought you said 9 plus 4.
No, not plus. 9 times 4. Remember, 9x means 9 times whatever x is, and x is 4. Right? All right, so let's go on to the next batch in the middle. All right. So this time we're using the variables that we're using are A and B. Welcome, Jodian. Better late than never. Welcome. Let A be negative 1 and B be 6. So these are the values we're going to be substituting. A is negative 1 and B is 6. So that will mean negative 1 times 6 cubed. What do we mean by 6 cubed? When we cube a number, what's that? What are we doing to it?
Miss, we multiply it
Miss,
by itself.
times in the number.
So it's 6 times 6 times 6.
6.
And how much is that?
108.
108.
216. Why are you so
216. So 6 times 6 is 36. And 36 times 6 is
Miss 216.
216.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
All right. Okay. 260, and we have a negative 1. So it's negative
So it's
1.
negative 1 times 216, which is negative 216.
Negative
Wait,
216.
how many? Oh.
Do you follow? Everybody follow?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Yes, miss.
Alexander, you good?
Yes, miss.
Number 2 says 10b minus 3a. So since a is negative 1 and b is 6, so 10b would be 10 times 6 minus 3 times negative 1. The 10 times 6 is 60.
60. And negative
Negative 3 times negative 1 is
positive 3.
positive 3.
And 60 plus 3 is 63.
60 plus 3 is 63.
63.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Okay, so we're good. All right, number 3, 4b minus a cubed. 4b minus a cubed. So b is 6, so it's 4 times 6 minus a is negative 1, and we're cubing it. So it's negative 1 times negative 1 times
Negative 1.
How much is that?
Answer is negative 1.
Miss, it's still negative 1, miss.
Still negative 1. So whenever we cube a negative number, it's going to be negative. And since it's 1, it's going to be negative 1. So 4 times 6 is
Miss 24.
24.
And 24 minus negative 1 is 25.
Is the same as 24 plus 1, right?
Yes,
So
miss.
24 minus, so the negative and the negative make this positive.
Yes, miss.
24 minus negative 1 is the same as plus 1, which is
Miss 25.
25. Number 4, we have negative 5 times A times B.
E.
Negative 5AB. So since A is -1 and B is 6, so it's -5 times -1 times 6.
Times 6. Sorry.
This is basically positive 5.
Yeah, positive
So
5
this give
times
a
6.
+5, right? The
No,
negative
Yes,
5
miss.
times -1 give a +5
Positive 5.
times +6, that give what?
Miss 30. Positive 30.
+30. Okay. Guys in the chat, let me see your answers. The chat isn't moving. Maybe it's stuck like yesterday. I don't see the chat moving. Type in your answers. Jamani, Zion, Jodian, Carissa, you guys type in your answers. All right, so number 5. Let me adjust the screen. Number 5. Okay, number 5 says 6a minus 2b plus 7. When you're typing your answers, you need to say which number you're answering, because sometimes the chat comes in slower than we're moving and we may have gone on to a different problem. So just write number 6 and this is the answer. Number 8 or number 5, 6a. So that's 6 times -1 minus 2b. So that's 2 times plus 7. So what is 6 times -1?
Miss negative 6.
That's -6. And -2 times 6.
-12.
Miss negative 12.
-12 plus 7. So -6 minus 12
Miss, that's negative 18.
plus 7.
Miss negative 1.
You sure?
No, negative.
Oh, negative
Negative.
11.
-11.
Yeah.
-18 plus 7 is -11.
11.
Okay, everybody clear on that?
Yes, miss.
Okay. And number
6.
6. So -3ab minus ab. So it's -3 times -1 times 6 minus -1 times 6. Okay. So -3 times -1 is a +3
Times 6.
times 6 is a +18. This negative here times that negative gives a
Is that
+1.
positive? Yes, miss.
Times 6 is +6. And 18 plus 6 is 24.
24, miss.
All right. So that batch, everybody clear on that batch?
Yes, miss.
All right. So we're moving good. We have done 2 batches out of 3. So now to the last set. Okay. The last set.
Miss, could you? Yes, thank you.
All right. So this time, remember I told you these are variables, they change. The value changes. So this time we can say x is going to be 7. Another time we say x is going to be 100. X is going to be 0. X is going to be -50. So in the first batch, x was 4, y was -2. This time they're saying let x be 0, let y be -3, and let p be 10. So those are the values we're working with right now. X is 0, y is -3, p is 10. So 2x would be 2 times 0,
0.
It could be equals
3y would be 3 times
Negative
-3,
3.
and
10
10
P would be 2
times
times
10,
10.
right?
Yes, miss.
Is that correct?
Yes, miss.
Yes, ma'am.
So 2 times 0 is
0.
0.
0.
Yes.
So it's 0. 3 times negative 3 is
Negative
Is
negative
9.
negative
9. And negative 10 times 10.
is
100.
negative
Negative
100.
100.
All right. So what is 0 minus 9 minus 100?
Negative 100.
Negative
Negative
109
Negative 109. Negative 109. All right. Number 2, we have 8xy plus 3p. All right, so that will be 8 times 0 times negative 3 plus 3 times 10. All right.
Miss. Yes,
Yes,
miss.
so miss,
Once we're multiplying and there's a 0, what does that mean?
So
Miss,
anything
that
right now is a
anything
0.
times 0 is 0.
Anything
Zero.
times 0. So it doesn't matter how many of them we have. Once it's a multiplication operation and a 0 is involved, that is 0.
Yes, miss.
Okay.
I
So good
agree.
night to those who are just joining. So this is 0. And then 3 times
But
10 would give
30.
30. All right.
The answer is 30.
And 0 plus 30 is
30, miss.
30. All right. Number 3,
7
7p
minus
minus x plus 3y.
3y.
So 7p would be 7
7
times
times 10
10 minus 0 plus
plus
3
3
times
times
negative
negative 3.
3. So the 7 times 10 give
70.
70, miss.
70. And 3 times negative 3.
Miss, negative 9
So 70 minus 0 minus 9,
is 61.
61. All right, number 4, we have 2yp. So let me bring down the screen a little. 2yp minus y plus p. 2yp minus y plus p. So that would be 2 times
Negative
negative
3
3
times 10
times 10 minus negative 3 plus 10. All right, so 2 times negative 3 is
is negative
negative
6
6 times 10, negative
times
60.
10 is negative 60.
The negative times negative give a positive 3. All right, so what is negative 60 plus 3?
Miss, that is negative 57.
Plus 10?
Negative 47.
Yeah, negative 47. All right, number 5, we have negative
Oh,
6
yeah.
bracket 7x plus 3y bracket minus p. All right. Okay, so we have negative 6 bracket, and within the bracket, we're going to put 7 times 0 plus 3 times negative 3 close bracket minus 10. So negative 6 7 times 0 is 0.
0
3 times negative 3 is negative 9.
is -9.
So this gives what? 6 times negative 9. Negative 6. Negative
Negative 6
6
times
times
-9
negative
is
9
positive 54
minus 10.
is positive 44.
44. Alright, and the last one, 14p plus 3y plus 2. So that's 14 times 10 plus 3 times negative 3 plus 2. 14 times 10 is 140
140
1400.
minus 9 plus 2. So 140 minus 9 give what?
means 140 minus 9 would give you 131
Plus 2,
is 133.
133. All right, I'm going to do 6 more. This time, I'm going to use some fractions just to mix things up. So I'm going to set same substitution, but this time with fractions. So let x be 5, let y
Wait,
be
miss,
1.
excuse me, miss, someone said in the chat that they didn't understand how they got number 4.
All
How
right, so
did you
we'll
get
go
positive
number 4
3?
in which set? Which set?
Um, Miss, I'm not really sure. Miss, I'm
Which
guessing it's the last set
set?
because they sent it like
Jordan,
2 weeks ago.
let me know which set. Number 4 in which set? Remember we had 3 sets. Oh, she's saying how did I get positive 3? So which one of the number 4s are positive 3?
Miss, I'm not
Oh, this one.
seeing
Okay.
any
So
positive
the
3. Miss,
negative times negative 3, 2 negatives multiplying would give a positive. You see that? Okay. Negative times. So this is like you're saying negative 1 times negative 3, positive 3. All right, so I'm setting up some fractions so we can see that the same rules apply. So I'm saying let x be 5, let y be 1, and let w be, let's use 12. All right. All right, so let's work these now. So these are fractions. So in this case, we're saying let x be 5, So X is 5, Y is 1, and W is 12. So we're just going to substitute those values. Wherever we see X, we're going to put 5. Wherever we see Y, we're going to put 1, and W 12. So this would be 5,
Oi, oi, oi.
9, 10, and 5 minus 1/10 would be what?
Miss 5 minus 110
You can
would
work
be
that in your head.
4 and 1 over 1. No, sorry, wait. 4 and 9 over 10. 4 and
So we take 1 from the 5,
9
that's
over 10.
4 and 10 over 10, minus
Is
1
it?
over 10, so that's
Oh,
4
sorry.
and...
Yes, 4 and 9 over 10. Okay, I got that. I was so confused. I thought you said you got 4 and 10 over 10.
No, if you can't do it in your head, this is how you do it. Take 1 from the 5 and write that 1 as 10 over 10, since the denominator here is 10.
Miss, I got it. See? Miss,
Okay.
I got it. I got it.
All right. Number 2, a quarter W plus 3/4 Y.
Miss,
Yes, Alexander.
first, first I see it.
Huh?
So instead of using the LCM method, you're going to do it that way.
Can you speak up?
I said instead of like turning it into a improper fraction and then
Yeah. So when you're taking a fraction from a whole number, you can just change the whole number into a fraction by taking 1 from it and rewriting that 1 whole as whatever the denominator of the other fraction is, write it over
3
it.
quarter times 1 is still 3 quarter.
So since this is
Sorry.
10, I just wrote that 1 whole as 10 over 10. So 4 and 10 over 10 is the same as 5, because 10 over 10 is 1 whole. And then I just take 1 from the 10 and put it back over 10. All right, so it's a quarter times 12 plus 3/4 times 1 minus 8. What's a quarter of 12?
A quarter of 12 is 3.
3. And 3/4 of 1 is 3/4, right?
3 quarters, yes, miss.
So 3 and 3/4 minus 8.
So that would be 7 and minus 3 and 4. Negative 4 and 1 over 4, miss. Negative 4 and a quarter.
Correct. So negative 4 and a quarter. All right. So here we have now 2x plus 3y over 20. So 2 times 5 plus 3 times 1 over 20.
Yes.
2 5s, 10
It's 2 5 10.
plus 3.
3, which is 13 over 20.
And that cannot be reduced.
No, miss, because 13 is a prime number.
Right. So 13 over 20. And for number 4, it says 16y plus 3x squared over 6w. So 16y would be 16 times 1 plus 3 times 5 squared over 6 times 12. So 16, 1, 16. We square the 5 first. 5
25.
5s, 25
25
times 3,
is 75.
75. And 6 times 12.
Miss 6 12 is 72.
All right, so what's 16 plus 75?
Miss 16 plus 75 is 91.
Over 12, over 72. Sorry.
72, miss.
So 72 goes into 91 one time.
One time.
Remainder what? 19.
Is that
19.
remainder of
over 72.
Miss, I can't do this at all.
Can see?
Yes, Miss.
Miss, can you shift it
I
a
said
little,
it,
please? Thank you.
Like that.
Yes, Miss.
A bunch of you know.
All right, 2 to go. So we have negative 9w plus 16 over xyw. So it's negative 9 times 12 plus 16 over x is 5 times 1 times 12.
That's 5 times
All right,
1
so what's
times.
negative 9 times 12
Miss, negative 9 times 12 is negative 108.
plus 16? And 5 times 1 is 5 times 12 is
Is
60.
60.
Negative 108 plus 16
Miss, that's 92
over 60.
over 60, Miss.
So that's 1 time and 32 over 60.
Wait, sorry, negative 92, Miss. Negative 92, negative.
Oh, sorry. All right, so that's negative. So 32 over 60 cancel down to what?
Miss,
4,
32
4 into 32 goes 8.
8 times, Miss.
And 4 into 60 goes.
Miss, 15 times.
So it's negative 1 and 8 over 15.
8
You
over
see?
15.
Fractions
Yes,
work them same way. It doesn't matter. We can substitute fractions. 2w over x plus 4y. So that's 2 times 12
12
over
over
5 plus 4 times 1.
1.
So 2 12s,
24.
24 over 5 plus 4. 24 over 5 goes what? 4 times and 4 over 5
Yes, Miss.
plus 4. So that's what?
Wait, Miss, give me a second, please. You did it so differently. Okay. Okay,
5
that's
into 24 goes 4 times
4
remainder.
times remainder of 4 over 5. And then it would be plus 4, which would be 8 and 4 over 5.
So did you work it using the LCM way?
Miss, I was about to, and then I realized that you're working it like when you change it to mixed numbers.
Okay, it would have given you. So if we had used the
Miss,
LCM, it would be 5. So we get 24 minus 20. 5. The LCM would be 5, right?
yes, Miss.
So 24 and
Miss, so in all, we would get 44 over 5, which would technically be, which
8
will
and 4 over
be 8 and 4 over 5.
5. All right. So then,
No, I'm good.
so we have demonstrated substitution. And just to recap, we said that the word substitute means put one thing in the place of another. And the reason why we call this substitution in algebra is we are given some variables and we are told what the values are. We are told A is 7, Y is 20, B is 0, and we are to substitute those values wherever we see those variables. So we are given a number of expressions and we're going to substitute those values in the expressions. Wherever you see those variables, you put a bracket and you put that value. And bear in mind, these variables can change. That's why they are called variables, right? They change. All right, are there any questions from my studio crew or any questions from the chat crew?
Miss, not from the studio
Not
crew.
from me.
Not from the
All
studio.
right, so my studio crew are well versed in their substitution. They cannot be tricked, right, guys? Cannot be fooled.
Yes,
Any
Miss.
which way they bring it, you're ready for your substitution. How about my persons on the chat? Those watching We have persons watching on YouTube, persons watching on Facebook and Twitter. Remember, even after the live has ended, you can still let me know your questions, reach out to me, and I will answer if you have anything that didn't occur to you, and maybe you're watching over the video and you say, but hey, I don't get that part. Why did she do this or why did she do that? I will gladly clarify that for you. Remember, we have a number of live classes. Let me quickly run down the schedule for the CSEC live classes, those who are not yet familiar. So on Monday, 8 to 9, we have graph. Tuesday, 8 to 9, algebra, which is what we're doing right now. Wednesday, 8 to 9, topic by topic. And the topic we're going to be doing first is sets. Thursday, 8 to 9, we do our formulae.
Yeah.
We break down the different formulae and see.
And shortcuts, miss. Formulae and shortcuts.
Formulae and shortcuts. And in the night on Thursday, that's our midnight oil class, starting at 12 midnight to 2 o'clock. Remember last week, how many questions we did last week on the midnight?
20 questions.
20. And we said we're going to push ourselves this week and see if we can do 40. Bear in mind, in the real exam, the multiple choice, you would get 60 questions to do.
Yes.
But of course, you won't have anybody chatting with you and distracting you. You'd be there focusing, zone in on your 60 questions. In an hour and a half, you should be able to do your 60 questions.
Yes.
And remember, for the multiple choice, you will not have a calculator. So you have to practice. When you're doing the multiple choice, do it without a calculator. And on Friday now, from 6 to 8, we do our CSEC past paper 2. So we have everything covered, guys. Everything covered. If you know you're not the type of person to remember this schedule, write it down or just click the notification bell so you will be reminded whenever we go live. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you stop and join us. And always remember to open up your mouth and ask questions. Questions were made to be asked. And as a scholar, as a student, you have the right to ask your questions and to have things clarified for you.
That is how we learn, clearly.
That is how you learn, absolutely. And that is also how you help others to learn. Because you might have somebody shy and they don't want to ask, and you ask it and give them the chance to hear the answer, right? So sometimes we have to be the brave ones, the bold ones, right? And ask up the questions. Be a part of the studio crew so you can come on and speak with me, not just to type in your stuff, but to actually speak. Let me hear your voice. Let me hear what you're saying. Let me hear your questions. And definitely we can benefit from it and others. So thank you for joining me, scholars. As usual, let us say good night.
Good night,
Good night, miss, and everyone.
Bye,
Good night, and I will see you tomorrow.
Next video.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye, miss.
Bye, miss.
All right. Thanks for your company.
You're welcome, miss.